Oh hey friends, how's it going? I'm so glad that you could make it. I'm about to make some cheesecake and I thought I might take you on a little journey and we can make it together. Now if you've never made cheesecake before, it's pretty simple. The ingredients aren't really much, but there's a couple ways that you bake it that you need to make sure you do right to make it turn out how you want it. The basic ingredients of cheesecake is cream cheese, eggs, vanilla, sugar, butter, and crust. Pretty simple. First thing you do is make the crust. You can go to the store, you can buy a pre-made graham cracker crust, or you can make it at home. Obviously there's other types of crust you can use, but with the cheesecake I make, I found that the graham cracker crust tastes the best. So, to make the crust, you start off with one package of graham crackers, break them up. I find that if you just take the graham cracker in the package and bang it up, that works out pretty well. I take a couple tablespoons of butter and I mix that in with the graham cracker, and I also have a half a cup of sugar. Mix it all together in a bowl, and then I add it to a springform pan and I cook it in a heated oven for about 10 minutes or until it browns just a little bit. So the reason you use a springform pan is because you can take these loose ingredients and put them in the pan, and then once you're done, you pop it off and you'll have a cake. Alright, so while you have the crust baking in the oven for about 10 minutes, you can put everything else together. Like I said, it's pretty simple, there's not very many ingredients, but the final product is very delicious. So when you go to the store to buy the cream cheese, they have tubs of cream cheese, and they also have these bricks of cream cheese that come in 8-ounce packages. You buy 3 of those, and I like to let them warm up to room temperature because they mix together a lot easier if you do that. Mix in 4 eggs, 3/4 cup of sugar, tablespoon of vanilla. I generally like to get a little bit generous on my vanilla. I really like it. I necessarily have to go more than that, but if you like vanilla, let it overflow a little bit. When it calls for a tablespoon, I keep pouring. And then finally, about 6 tablespoons of butter. Alright, once you have everything in the bowl, you can set the mixer down and lock it and just let it all mix together. Alright, so once you have everything mixed together, you're going to get this nice creamy mixture. One of the benefits of bringing the cream cheese up to room temperature is that you'll get an easier material to work with, and when you end up pouring it in, it's a lot smoother. If you don't let it get to room temperature, the cream cheese will be a little bit harder, but it'll all still work out. It's just going to require a little bit more effort. So what you do now is pour the filling into the crust, and it'll be ready to go into the oven. Alright, so what I typically do is after I pour it all in, I take a icing knife and I smooth everything out, so once it cooks, it'll be nice and pretty. Alright, so like I was telling you about earlier, you need to keep the humidity in the oven elevated so that while the cheesecake is cooking, it doesn't dry and crack out. So the way to accomplish that is by having a water bath in the oven. What you typically would want to do is buy a nice springform pan that's waterproof, get a container, fill it up with water, set the waterproof springform in it, and then put that in the oven and cook. What I found is that since the oven's pretty small space anyway, and I don't want to buy a super expensive springform pan, I take a separate container, in this case just a pan full of water, and I put that on the lower shelf. So I have the separate container full of water on the lower shelf, and I take the cheesecake and I put it on the top shelf. Close up the oven, I'm good to go. Alright, so after you let it cook in the oven for about an hour, you take it out and let it sit and cool back down to room temperature, and you'll get this beautiful cheesecake. Beauty of the springform pan is you release the latch on the outside, lift it up, and there you go. You got this delicious cake. So we'll cut it up real quick and see how good it is. Alright, so now here comes the really fun part, tasting the delicious cheesecake. So I can already tell offhand that it's really moist. The water bath did a great job, and pre-cooking the crust makes it maintain its crispiness. So I'll take a quick bite. Mmm, perfect. Come on in, you can try a bite too. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll see you next time, friend. Mmm.